Hey everybody, good energy to you guys. So yeah, I just wanted to share some fun and healthy activities. These things can help reinvigorate, the good energy and love within us all and passion for life. And so by association, everything that, is in a close proximity will essentially, we'll be radiating that around everything that we are. And, from the teachings of Dr. Bruce Lipton and epigenetics, this shows us that those teachings show us that our cells absorb the environment that we're around. That literally changes our DNA, which is also why it's so imperative to not be around toxic environments, toxic people, just exploitation, greed, evilness, wickedness, all that stuff. The more you're around it, the more you absorb it. It is what it is. And the more that you, perpetuate it, the more you absorb it as well. So the more that we're perpetuating goodness and life and love and creation and all those things, the more we're going to be absorbing that stuff. So yeah, but fun activities that we can look forward to that are also healthy for us. For me, meditation, man, is always been, that word meditation can, mean a lot of different things to many people. And I don't know what the exact meaning is, but for me, just sitting here, closing my eyes, being still, trying not to think so much, or just let my thoughts, not try to control my thoughts so much, just let them flow and sometimes see where they go. Can be a really fun thing, and I find to be, I can be very calm, and in a much better mood at times afterwards. So, especially out in nature, it's awesome for me. But there's yoga too, in case you just like to, move around and or, do more moving and stretching and, learn how to fucking, by doing these things, I've heard that, they help unlock, certain parts of yourself that you may not know about, just help you move in ways you didn't move before. And so, it can be good for you. And, when I do stretch, it does feel really fucking good. So I should probably do more of it. But, healthy exercises like that, out in nature, again, the more, you're doing them out in nature, the better off you're going to be absorbing the elements, the freshness, and you're going to be absorbing the good creative energy of life instead of, essentially all this death or debt energy. So another thing that I used to love to do as a kid, man, and I still have done as an adult, is building forts, and just creating odd projects and things out in nature. There's a lot of deadfall rocks and just discarded objects. One man's trash could be another man's treasure. So things like that don't cost any money at all and don't hurt anything. We're not chopping down trees or doing anything like that, or buying a product that came from somebody else's suffering. These are all things that are just readily available for us to use, if we put the time and imagination into doing so. And when you do it, a lot of times you end up having a lot of fun. At least I have. So we can look forward to that. And art, writing, reading, creating, all these things, especially out in nature, again, away from the 5G signals, away from all the toxic bullshit. All this stuff is just, that much easier to do and perpetuate out in nature, especially when it's in tandem with us all, working on this good nonprofit movement that's, based on an honor system. It's all about, helping people and helping the earth and everything. It's all going to work hand in hand. But again, it takes the commitment, it takes the action, it takes the actual step in that direction to make it happen. And playing games like bocce ball. Over the years since living here in Oregon and coming here to visit people in Oregon, because my dad's got friends here, and one of his friends has got a lot of land, we've always played bocce ball. And it's a simple game. You just, you roll a ball, trying to hit another ball, and you can knock other people's balls, and you can have good conversations while you're doing it and shit, and it's just a lot of fun, man. Things like that. Frisbee, you can play chess. Chess is great for, mental thinking and learning how to think ahead, and also being able to observe your opponent, see where they're going, being aware of things. It's great. I love chess. It's not for everybody, but for me, it's a good game. And again, it doesn't cost, any electricity. And once you buy it, it's paid for. So pool's a good game. It's great for patterns, geometry, angles, yeah, pool's a lot of fun too, man. Ping pong, another game that's kind of like pool with, well, it's more of a dexterous kind of game, but again, that's another fun game too that you can play outside. And I think if we're competitive, but in a good way, not in a egotistical, prideful way, then I think these type of games can help make us stronger and sharpen our skills, and especially if we're doing them outside, and away from all this bullshit, it's just going to be that much fun. I don't know if that's even a word, but anyways, moving on. So yeah, I mean, even like, you know, tag and hide and go seek, like these are things that I did as a child, but you know, why can't we do them as adults, man? I mean, tag is a great exercise. It's fucking, you know, it helps you, you know, it's just great exercise, man. It helps keep you going. It helps keep other people going. It's fun. Hide and go seek is a great way to practice, like blending in with your environment, you know, your ninja skills, just learning to be aware and, you know, learning to use what you can to stay hidden, especially with everything that's going on in the world. These could be skills that could, you know, essentially save your life and somebody else's life, or help you not get caught, or just help you survive and thrive. So, and they can also be fun things that we can do together. So even perhaps, you know, a way to make eco-friendly paintball tournaments. I mean, you know, for men or even women who like, you know, shooting and, you know, the whole arts of, you know, that and playing soldier and all these things. I don't think it's bad, man, especially if you had an area that was just designed just for paintballing and you use old cars or just stuff that we're not using anymore, and that's the area that you do it in, so it's not hurting or, you know, polluting anything else. Or perhaps you can develop paintballs that are eco-friendly and they don't even hurt anything. But yeah, these are, you know, relatively simple things. Now, this is going to cost a little bit more money, so you have to wait until we have more of an abundance to be able to do these things. But, you know, we can look forward to this stuff in the future. You know, and again, kind of similar, like an obstacle course. You know, when I was in the Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts, I think, we went to an obstacle course, and it was awesome, man. I'll never forget it. You know, just being able to, you know, just having these obstacles you got to get over, and, you know, something about being able to climb over these big things and do spider nets and see how quick you can do it and test your skills. I mean, there's something that I find incredibly interesting and also just good for you and fun, you know, all around. You can, you know, change the obstacle courses up, and, you know, especially out in nature, you can kind of do what you can with the elements that are around you. And I don't know, just something about that has always drawn my attention. So something to look forward to if that's your thing. And it's kind of like a training course too, you know. And with the training course, you can add in puzzles, you can add in little obstacles to get people to think and try going different ways to go up this way, you know, figure out what they got to do to get through this thing. And, you know, through these things, we can figure out what our might and aptitude levels really are, you know, so that we're more prepared and, you know, knowing of what we're capable of when shit does hit the fan, or if shit does hit the fan, or just in general when there's situations that require us to do extreme things. We'll have a little bit more training for this. This is why they put the military through basic training, is so that when they go into war, they're just not completely not used to fucking the rigors of war. They have a little bit of a training for it, you know. So these things are good and fun, in my opinion. So, you know, one of the properties I'm looking at has got a river right next to it. So, you know, you can do a lot with the river, man. You know, with growing hemp, you can grow the stocks, you can make rope out of hemp, so you can make your own rafts. You know, we can, you know, if there's extra canoes or, you know, kayaking around, you know, you can maybe use those. Just swimming in them, the rivers on their own, is one of the funnest things I've ever done. You know, I mean, I love, especially if it's a good current and it's not, you know, the right temperature of cool water and warm air, and just, you know, the scenery is amazing. So it's stuff to look forward to, man. Real simple things that are just right there ready for us to literally walk into. But we have to have the right infrastructure for us to live there and sustain it, and also live in good harmony with nature. You know, otherwise we're not learning the lesson. We're continuing to perpetuate that which is killing that serenity that we love. So, you know, and then foraging, man. You can just, you know, learning how to forage from mushrooms, berries, other, you know, natural foods that are just literally lying or waiting around the forest to be plucked and eaten, you know, that we, you know, a lot of us growing up in the cities, you know, never knew or have ever done. Good things to learn. Fun things to do too, skills. Fishing, it's another great one to do if you're into fishing and stuff, and being by a river will grant you easy access to it. Now we gotta be mindful of the area and the regulations and the way of doing things, but it's available, it's there, and it's nearby, so that's good. You know, and for those who like to eat meat, there's hunting, you know, and again, with the same thing with the fishing, we got to be aware of the area, the regulations, the law of the land, and all these things. But yeah, I mean, outside of the cities, you know, there's hunting is available. So that's something to look forward to too, if that is your thing. So, and then there's martial arts training. So, you know, this kind of gets into the superpowers, and, you know, since we're developing this honor system and doing the good work of the nonprofits, you know, getting into martial arts, meditation, and more of these skill set type activities will help, I think, develop more of our chi, more of our superpowers, more of our ability to, you know, really protect if the time comes when, you know, some serious protection is needed, and also just to, you know, learn how to grow and strengthen and master ourselves too, you know. And it's also very good for like men or just anybody who's dealing with, you know, violent tendencies or rage or anger. Things like martial arts can be a real good conduit, you know, to help transmutate those emotions and learn how to, you know, because a lot of times those emotions need movement. Like they're just this, it's like a war inside of you. And because in this society we have nowhere to, I mean, other than video games and drugs and, you know, prostitution and these destructive things, like, you know, people aren't taught to try to transmutate this stuff in a constructive way. And martial arts can be really good for that, as well as a lot of these other things are too. Not just martial arts, but especially for people with that type of like fighting type rage, like anger. Martial arts, I think, can be extremely therapeutic. And you can also train with people, and if you're training with somebody who's a really experienced martial artist, they're also going to be able to kind of calm you down and show you that, you know, it's actually going to be in your better interest to calm your emotions in fights rather than to lose your emotions, because a lot of times when you lose your emotions, you end up tripping and the other person's able to fucking use your own momentum against you, and it's just not as a healthy way of going about doing things. So good stuff to look forward to again. Then yeah, you can develop tournaments, and you get that gets into the more ranking and da-da-da-da-da-da. But and then the last thing I want to do quick, because I want to make sure I can upload this video, is the amphitheater. I'd love to develop an amphitheater, create an amphitheater, so that people can come and perform, they can speak their word, they can share with their poetry, their music, their acts, whatever it is that they want to share with the world. They'd have a beautiful place to do so, out in beautiful surroundings. So, all right, I love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.